Hi Taurus, so welcome to the Esoteric Empire. We're back for another timeless message. So these timeless message readings are really, important and near and dear to my heart. I only do these whenever I feel the spark to do them. So basically what this reading is supposed to do is to speak on a deeper level. So it's not going to be the mundane materialistic things or the 3D realm type issues. We're going deeper than that. So you might want to call that the fourth dimension, where it's more spiritual. And so you may or may not resonate with this video or this message. I also have another video you can go check out that I did about 5 months ago. But I see with these type of readings, the synchronicities travel very far, okay? So if you are interested in another one, if this one does not resonate, or if it does, feel free to go check that one out. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, Taurus. So let's go ahead and see what the situation is that I'm going to be speaking to you about when it comes to this soul's message. Strength. The first thing that I feel is your health. You're either not paying attention to it, you're avoiding something when it comes to health. This could be running away from it. Now, my first question is, what type of health? Are we speaking mental health? Are we speaking spiritual health? Are we speaking physical body health? What is it that needs to be examined? There's an energy situation here too. Like some of you are feeling like you don't have the energy to do something. 9 of Swords. This has a lot to do with your mental state. You're nervous. Your mind is racing. This reminds me of, when you have like dreams or you go to sleep and you wake up and you still feel tired. It's like that, but I feel like it's on a mental level. Like your mind is kind of being overworked. I feel like, Taurus, you're being too practical or you're being too logical. You could be having headaches literally because of this. There is an imbalance between using your head and using your heart. You have chosen to ignore matters of the heart. You've chosen to be logical, but I feel like your body is kind of like trying to tell you or giving you signs that it doesn't want to be so logical. So, for example, you could literally be having headaches all the time or migraines. You could be tired, lethargic all the time. And you're anxious about something. There's something that you are literally running away from, or you can't run away from it in your mind. You know what I mean? And it's like you can't get rid of the thing. You can get rid of it, but the reason why you have not gotten rid of it is the fact that you're not using another aspect of yourself to access the answer or the solution, which I feel in this case is your heart. You have been using your brain so much to try to make sense of everything or, be right about it. But maybe you need to go a different direction. Maybe you need to go left with it. Maybe you need to do something off the wall. Maybe you need to do something different. Use your heart, maybe, Taurus. Use your heart. I already feel like that's, part of what this message is saying. 2 of Cups. You're afraid of connecting. You're afraid to get lost in the idea of love, the idea of connection, the idea of commitment. You don't want to be responsible for someone else's emotions. You don't want to feel that burden. I feel like there's growth that could be obtained here, but you choose to not access it because logically it doesn't make sense to. Logically, it's not practical to want to be in love. You may be in love with someone that you feel like you guys would never work or you guys are total opposites. But something about the situation is making your heart go, wait a minute, why are you running from this? Maybe there's a lesson to be learned. I think you're afraid of that lesson. I think no matter how much you say you don't want to be a part of it or you don't want to think about it or you don't want to have anything to do with them, there is a soul's message connected to this that you need to learn. And it's coming in the way that would make you feel uncomfortable. And in your case, it's love. Now, I do think this has a deeper meaning. I don't think it's literally just about relationships, but relating in the 3D is how we show ourselves, how we are in connection to things, whether it's yourself, other people, which is just energy in human form. It shows like maybe what we could work on, what we need to strengthen, maybe what we need to weaken in a sense, like if you're too attached to people or if you rely on people heavily. Relationships is the reason why we're not on earth by ourselves. Relationships is the reason why we have other humans here. You understand what I'm saying? Because it represents other sides of the soul, other sides of or perspectives of God. It's like if you have a big house or a big castle. If you go up levels, or you'll see one thing. If you go down a level, you'll see another thing. If you go look at another window, you'll see a different aspect of the light. All of those peoples are the windows and the levels that make up the castle, the empire. And I feel like you're stuck at one level and you can't you see all these people going upwards. You see all these people making choices, going in different directions. And they seem like they've got it together. Some people don't. They seem like they're just going for the ride. And yet you still are looking at the elevator door and just looking at it open and close for other people. And staying on the first floor in the lobby, waiting. What are you waiting for? What is it that you think will help you make a decision to leap on faith, or if you want to call it faith, to go in the path that pretty much everyone's going? They're just ending up in different places. It's all the same building. It's all the same elevator that's being used. Why are you watching everyone pass you by? Why are you watching people walk out of the building? Why are you watching people go up a level, come back down, And while you're watching it, what are you observing? What are you actually getting from that? I feel like part of the message is, you're being logical. So I know that you're looking at everything and analyzing it and seeing how it could affect you. But where you're messing up is you're not building your heart. Your heart is losing out because you're not able to experience, and the spirit wants to experience new things. And your logic tells you, no, we're not doing that. I don't want to risk it. There's a 50% chance that I'll be sad. There's a 50% chance that I'll be heartbroken. But there's also a bigger chance that there's a 100% chance you're going to learn at the very least. You're going to expand 100%. Whether you feel like it's negative or positive. It's all the same spectrum. Whatever you're running from, whatever you're afraid to do, challenge yourself and ask yourself why. And then challenge and ask yourself, or make yourself go and do it. Because your mind's not going to let you, run away from this forever. And the fact that you're being so logical is the exact reason why your mind is going to exhaust you until you actually use something else. Because your mind also knows that you're overworking it. You know that you're overworking it. You know that you're overthinking. Make changes, Taurus. Now, I want to see where all of this connects, because there is a lesson in this, and I think it has a lot to do with your comfortability and, your vulnerability in a situation. So we're going to use this past life deck here and see where this connects for you. Why is this even showing up as a lesson in your present? So it's clearly something you have not learned from your past lives. What is this stemming from? What past situations? Knighthood. Again, notice how there are swords. Notice how this all goes back to being logical, strategic, air, thinking. Keyword being thinking. You overthink things. Now, as a knight, this could be figuratively, or maybe you literally were a knight in one of your past lives. You cannot think with the heart when you're trying to protect, even though the whole reason you would protect something is because of emotional reason. So, for example, if you're protecting the king or the queen, you are protecting your pride. You're protecting where you're from. You're protecting the people that you love in the place that you are from. You're protecting your kingdom. You're protecting everything that makes you you. And so in that way, you don't want to, make a mistake. There is no mistakes in war. And what's that saying? All is fair in love and war. Remember I was saying you're using, like, you want to go the right way. You want to do the right thing. War, when you break it down, just means we are right. Whoever is on either side, they believe that they're right. That's what war is. WAR. We are right. I'm telling you, go left. Stop thinking so logical. Take it another direction. Change your perception. Try using a different form of strategy. Like there is a logic with emotion. You know what I'm saying? That's why they call it emotional intelligence. But you are not using that. You're using every strategic way. You're using every little, it's almost like if you were working on a computer or a security software and you know how to get into the software, but your body or the software is overriding you and not letting you use that password to unlock it. And that's what you're doing. You have this thick, this huge like lock on your heart that is connected to your mind. The only way you can unlock the heart is if you unlock it here. And the computer's like, nope, we're not doing that. And so what's going to happen is eventually that laptop is going to die. You know what I mean? And you're going to have to recharge it. So when that happens, you have to use something else. You can't use it until it's recharged. This is where your heart comes in. It's your generator. So I hope all of this is making sense. The main point I'm trying to make with this knighthood is you can only hide behind your sword for so long. You might have to use your fist. You might have to use yourself. You may have to be vulnerable. You may have to, not have that armor anymore. You don't have to be afraid. If you're a knight, it means that you've trained for all your life. What are you afraid of? You've seen what can happen. There's not so many ways that things can go. You live or you die. If you're a true knight, you do what it takes, you know what I'm saying? And if you die in the process, at least you died in honor. And I don't mean that literally, but I mean, if the relationship fails, if whatever you're working on fails, at least you did it in honor because you went after it knowing that you will do what it takes to see it succeed. And if that doesn't work, there's always another war. So let's go ahead and see what the message this oracle is coming up for. Like, what is all of this even meant for? Spiritual strength. So you've done all of the work you need to do for your mental. You've strengthened that. You know how to fortify that part of yourself. But now the truth test comes. That inner you, that yin realm. Are you strong enough to spiritually allow yourself to explore? Like I said, the spirit always wants to explore. The spirit always wants to see new things. You can't get in the way of that. Even your body is not letting you. You're stressed out. You're nervous. You can't stop thinking about it. You feel like you're getting attacked. You may even be having nightmares. You having bad thoughts. Maybe change up what you're, a part of. Maybe change up your perception on things. You need to be happy. Your actions need to do things that align with happiness. You're probably doing shit every day that makes you feel terrible, bored, stationary, stagnant. Do something that makes you happy. Happiness is a form of being in the present. That's why they call it a present when you get a gift. Because it's all you have. It's all you have in the moment is the present. Now, the way that you achieve this happiness, you got to go deep. There's some deep-rooted issues that you are still, being washed up in. It's like you're in the bottom part of an ocean. You're at the very bottom of an ocean where things are dark and you can't see what's happening. And there's all these predators and all of these demons within you that you have to release. Now, in order to do that, you have to lighten up. You have to become lighter in spirit. You have to shed some of that weight so you can float up to the top. And you'll see that there's a beach and everyone's just having fun and there's water and there's people, there's laughs and sunlight. If you lighten up, you'll be able to reach the light. So with that being said, I hope that I know that this gave you a sense of healing. And I'm looking forward to, seeing the comments from some of you guys who, resonate with this and do the work, do the emotional work. It's not always fun, but it's worth it. Your spirit depends on it. You have to learn how to move in a room full of vultures. And then get out of that room. Find somewhere where you can be more true to yourself and not always on defense or not always, nervous about what's going to happen next. Because you don't have to be that way. You don't. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.